Testing, 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 testing. Sweet, you guys can hear me. Welcome, guys. We're going to do a stream a little bit talking about oil, and I think um, seeing a lot of stuff that's going on in the world right now, why I believe that oil could potentially be going back to all-time highs, and that what's going on, brother, and that we want to be looking for opportunities to buy dips on oil. There is rioting going on. If we pull up uh, YouTube, there's rioting going on in France right now. There's rioting going on all over Europe because of energy prices, because of what's happening around the world. And I think it's only going to get worse. So there's opportunities, even though it's bad and we hate seeing all this stuff, there's opportunities to make money from crises. And it sucks. It sucks. It sucks that that's the case, but it's just the truth. There's massive protests going on all across Europe, and I believe that, I mean, in the United States, I don't think it's any different. But you have massive, massive riots going on because energy prices are going to go through the roof. Okay? So I think there's, like I said, despite the fact that it sucks that there's people are suffering, because we don't want anyone to suffer. But in that, there's also opportunity to make some money from that. And I'm sorry that it's that way. I wish it wasn't, but that's just the case. So up here we have a weekly chart on oil, and I'm going to just draw a line because back in February when Russia invaded Ukraine, you had oil make a pretty significant high at 126.42, and I believe potentially we are going back to that price or higher. So what we have here is we have a weekly chart. Like I've always said, the pattern that I talk about, whether it's a weekly chart or whether it's a daily chart, whether it's a 15-minute chart, no matter what it is, the pattern is the same no matter what. Okay, it's not always going to win. Okay, because again, no system is 100% accurate. But this system that I talk about is pretty damn accurate. Okay, so I'm just circling times when you had a tail at the bottom of the body of the candle longer than the body of the candle with very little wick to no wick. Okay, so all these examples, you have a tail at the bottom of the body of the candle that's longer than the body of the candle. Does that make sense to everybody? I need you guys to understand that. Okay, a candle that has a tail at the bottom of the body of the candle that's longer than the body of the candle. Does everybody understand that? The very minute amount of people that are always in my YouTube streams, because I really don't care. You know, people are like, oh, well, you don't have very big. I don't care. It's not why I do this. But does everybody understand what I'm talking about? Okay. So if you were to look at that first one you have right here, we're just going to label them. We're just going to label them like we always do. This is stuff that people should be doing, but people don't. And they say, all you do, Iron Man, is you draw lines and just draw numbers. It's extremely important. So we have several different examples of when that pattern showed. I'm just doing it to the buy side. We can do it to the sell side too, but I'm just doing it to the buy side. And if you guys see more candles that potentially fit that, I can see one already. So I'm going to make another circle because I can see another one that I missed right here. Okay, so that would be number 8 example. Okay. So if you're trading a daily chart, obviously your stops have to be deeper than they would be if you were in a different one, right? If you were trading a different time frame. But if you were to take this trade when that happened on number one, you would have gotten in at 60.55. And before it came back to break even, before it came back to knock you out, it would have made a high of 76.50. So does everybody see this one right here? The number one example right here. Number one goes from at the entry at 60.55 to 76.50. So basically $16, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. But you see that one right there? Okay. And it depends on how deep your stop loss is. But number one, you make a massive amount of money if you would have just taken that opportunity. This is a weekly chart. Number two goes right here. You enter here at 71. So number two, you probably lose, right? Because you're not going to have an $11 stop loss. Maybe you are when you're trading a weekly chart. But and I'll have to study this a little bit more. But for these purposes, we'll call number one a win. I would normally do it on an hour chart, Kevin. No, not on a 15-minute. Normally on an hour. Okay, all these examples right here, except possibly number two, you made really good money by just trading that simple pattern, right? Number six, I don't even need to look at these. And I'll have to study it a little bit more. But on all of these, you make a really good amount of money. Number six, where are we at? Number seven. So number seven, you would have entered there at 107.93, and it made a high before it went down of 112, 113, right? So you made massive amounts of money there as well. Number eight, you made money. Okay, so on seven, and anyone who disagrees, let me know. I don't know why you would disagree, but if you do disagree, let me know. So number seven, you win. Let's just say winning means you make at least 200 points, right? Number eight, you win. Okay. So the question is, the last 8 times it's given you a buy signal on the weekly, you've won 7 out of 8 times. I'm not sure what the winning percentage is there, but we will calculate it, right? We can certainly calculate it. 7 divided by 8, I don't know what the winning percentage is. 87.5%, basically about 88%. Okay, so again, if you know you're going to be right 85% of the time, do you take the trade, yes or no? Do you take the trade if you know you're going to be right 85% of the time, yes or no? Yes or no? Of course you do. You're a robot, right, Kevin? So look what we have forming on, again, on the weekly chart. And we'll see what happens at the end of the week, right? But that pattern is starting to form on the weekly chart. We have about 48 hours left on the weekly time frame. So if 7 out of 8 times in the last several months, this is since April, or I did it since January possibly, but 7 out of 8 times you would have made massive money. If this weekly candle closes with that same pattern, do you take the trade? Yes or no? If this weekly closes with that pattern, do you take this trade? Yes or no? 7 out of 8 of the last times you would have made money. Now, Kevin, right? You may lose this one, right? But the odds, because all we're doing in trading when we trade is we're trading probabilities, right? We're not trading certainties. There are no certainties in trading. None. And anyone who tells you there's certainties in trading, again, like I always say, you run the fuck away from them. You run away from them. There are no certainties. All we're doing is we're trading probabilities. But the probability that this is the 12% of the time that that won't work are slim, right? The probability that this time is going to be different than the 7 out of 8 times is very slim, right? Would you all agree? Probability that this time will be different than any other time is very slim. Do we all agree on that? Yes, no? We all agree on that. I think we all agree. But now listen, here's the thing. If you're trading a weekly chart, your stop losses obviously have to be pretty deep, right? So there's two ways to mitigate that. You either don't trade it, right? Or you lessen your lot size so that you can handle the drawdown. Because if I were to take this trade right now at 84.13 or wherever it is, my stop losses have to be below the low of that wick at the bottom at 80.43. And if I'm looking at this, I'm saying, well, that the low of that, the candle that's forming right now is 80.43, but I also have this swing low down here at 76. If I were to take this trade for a long-term trade, I would probably want my stop losses below that area. And that's a massive stop, right? I'd probably want my stop losses below 75. So there's a few ways to mitigate that, right? You lessen your lot size or you don't take the trade, right? But when you're trading a weekly chart, your stop losses have to be different. You cannot do a 10 pip stop loss trading a weekly chart. You can't do a 50-point stop loss trading a weekly chart. Your stop losses have to be different. And people get caught up all the time in, oh my gosh, Iron Man, you have a 500-point stop loss. What does it matter? If I have a 500-point stop loss, like this one here, if I get in at 84.13, let's just say my stop loss is at 72. So 12 or $13, but my goal is 113 or 126. It doesn't matter as long as your risk to reward is 1 to 2, 1 to 3, right? But people get it in their heads because they're so used to it, and it's not wrong to say, well, I only have a 10 pip stop loss, but I have a 20 pip take profit. It's 1 to 2 risk reward, right? There's no difference between that and a 500-point stop loss with a 1,000-point. You see what I'm saying? Now people are going to say, well, I can use bigger lot sizes with all that, and that's fine. Whatever, again, whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, with everything that's going on in the economy, with everything that's going on in the world, this is the technicals and the fundamentals, right? This would be the fundamentals of it. I'm telling you, oil is going to skyrocket. And we want to be a part of that. Again, like I said at the beginning, it's sad that there's going to be that people are going to be paying higher energy prices, right? It's not fun, but there's also the opportunity to make money from that. Okay, um, there's multiple opportunities. If you want to go to the 1 hour, because most people don't want to trade the weekly, but the pattern is the same whether you trade it on the weekly, whether you trade it on the 15-minute, whether you trade on the 1 hour, the 30-minute. It does not matter. As long as that pattern is there, you'll make money. Period. End of story. And it's not complicated. I have a few people that are like, dude, we need to do another one-on-one. Can we do another one-on-one? I'm like, why do we need to do literally my style of trading is the easiest style of trading you could ever ask for. It's like trading for dummies because I'm not really smart. So now we're on the 1 hour chart, right? Let's start circling every time you have that pattern. This one right here would be a sell pattern, right? Because that wick at the top of the body of the candle is longer than the body of the candle on the 1 hour time frame. That would be a sell candle. You guys see that right there? A wick at the top, and it has a little bit of a tail at the bottom, but not bad. I would have taken that trade. Does everybody see that? It's the simple, that's all it is. That's all you have to do in order to get into a sell is do that. Nope. It doesn't matter the color of the candle. Okay? So if you would have gotten in this trade, you would have gotten in a sell, right? At the opening of that next 1 hour candle, you would have gotten in a sell at 86.8505, and then it made a low of 84.23. Can you make money off that? Let's just say, so you would have made 60 pips, right? Not bad. At 60 pips, your stops better be at break even, right? If you're up 60, you better be at like plus 10. Usually 40 to 50, I'm going to place my stop losses at break even. And then once I get up more than that, I'm going to move my stops into profit. Now, another thing that people say to me all the time is, well, Clay, look at this. On that next candle, you almost had a buy candle that followed that sell candle, right? So now the next candle after that is a buy candle almost, right? So what do you do if you're in the sell and the next hour gives you a buy candle? Well, at that point, I was up 60 points, right? I would set my stops in profit and just let it go, because maybe that's signaling that there's buys, but I will not reverse my sell in order to get into a buy, even if the pattern forms. Does that make sense? So the only time I won't take the trade is if I'm already in a profitable trade to the opposite side. Does that make sense, Kevin, and those people that are here? The only time I will not take a trade on the 1 hour pattern is if I'm already in that sell and I'm up money. Why take out a winning trade for potentially winning trade, right? So that one I would not have taken. If you weren't in, if you weren't in one, you would take that buy and you would have made money. Okay? Here's another buy opportunity right there. Here's another buy opportunity. And again, no system is 100% accurate. So I know people are going to say, well, this one might have lost, this one might have lost. No system is 100% accurate. Anyone who tells you their system is 100% accurate, run the hell away from them. Okay? But now I'm just circling on the 1 hour chart when you have a sell or a buy candle on oil. But no system is 100% accurate. It doesn't exist. You are going to take losses. Losses are good for you. They put skin on your chest. I hate hairy chests, so I'm just teasing. But losses are good for you. It teaches you a lot. You learn more in losses than you do in wins. So I don't mind losses. Okay? Losses happen. You're never going to get rid of them. They will always happen, and you have to be prepared for that. So I'm just circling every time on the 1 hour chart I see the pattern forming. And now it looks like we have a sell on it, right? So if you were to do those examples right there, and there's multiple examples, multiple examples, I guarantee you, over the long run, if you look at all these different examples that I did, there's multiple. We'll put numbers to them. That will be right 85% of the time, at least. Now, some weeks it's going to be less. Some weeks it might be a little bit more. But over the long run, if you trade that simple pattern, you will be right 80 to 85% of the time. Again, some weeks may be different, some weeks may be more, some weeks may be less. But over the long run, which is all we care about, right? Which is all we care about. Over the long run, you'll be successful more than you'll not be successful. Does that make sense to everybody? And again, like I always say to people, this is part of your homework. If you want to be a full-time trader and you want this to be your job, part of your job is to do this studying and do this back testing, right? That's part of your job. That's part of your job description. All this stuff is just part of your job. If you want to become a full-time trader, you should be doing this stuff. You should be checking this every week and seeing how accurate it was. Because I guarantee over the long run, it's going to be 80 to 85% accurate. And look at how many examples there are. Look at how many examples there are. There's 18 examples right now. Now, you'll say, well, Clay, that 1 hour that just closed looks like it was the sell candle, right? It looks like it was the sell candle. That wick at the top is longer than the body. So my question is, do I trust my judgment or do I not trust my judgment? Do I trust it or not? And because I just saw this, I'm going to get into that trade. Why? Because the numbers dictate that I get into that trade. That's all. Has nothing to do with anything other than the numbers dictate it. I might lose this trade and that's totally okay. But the numbers based on that candle, the 1 hour candle that just closed, right? And this new candle is forming, that was a sell candle. Okay, so the question is, do I trust my numbers or do I not trust my judgment? And the answer is I trust it. I'm a robot. It doesn't matter. Okay. So once again, you saw me take a live trade from a live account with a live terminal. My stop losses have to be above here. See what my price is. I always usually do about a 100-point stop loss on oil. Okay. So I got in at 84.57. My stop loss will be 85.57. And if I lose, I lose. Okay, now you're going to see the stop loss come in, I believe. There's the stop loss right there, above all the noise, right? Above all the noise. Now I just spent what 30 minutes telling you why I think it's a buy, and I just took a sell. Why did I take a sell if I've just spent the last 30 minutes telling you it's a buy? Why would I take a sell? Can anybody answer that? Why would I take a sell when I've just literally given you all the reasons why I believe that this is buy every dip? Why would I take a sell? Anybody? Bueller? Because the previous candle goes, right? I don't care if it's counter trend, right, Kevin? I don't care. I know that the numbers, whether it's counter trend or not, I'm going to be right the majority of the time. And if I'm wrong, that's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. What I really would like to have happen is what we were talking about before. I would really like to see it come and break this area here at 84.87, break it, pull back, and then give me a buy candle. And then I want to buy it all the way up into this area, 88 or even higher. But right now it's telling me to sell, so I'm selling. If I lose, I lose. It's just a numbers game. No emotion, no nothing. Now the algorithm that takes all my trades for me, except this one because oil's not out yet, but the oil algorithm should be out tonight. My guy's working on it, should be available tonight. So that's why I took this. But I haven't taken a manual trade on this very small account for weeks. I don't take manual trades in this account. Now I have other accounts that I trade and I'll take manual trades on, but this account I have not taken a manual trade until I just took that oil one. The algorithm has done everything for me and it's kicking ass. So the algorithm would have taken that trade, but we don't have the oil algorithm ready yet. It should be ready tonight. So I will manually take that trade. And again, if I lose, no big deal, right? It's just a numbers game. Does that make sense to everybody? But there are multiple reasons, as far as the fundamental side, there are multiple reasons why I believe that oil is going to make a run at the all-time highs. I believe it wholeheartedly that oil is going to make a run at the all-time highs, and I want to be in it, right? I want to be in that trade. I want to be in it if I can be. There are multiple reasons why, but I want to be in it if I can be, right? Oops. Yes, Kevin, the answer is yes. I don't even need to look at it because the answer is yes. The answer to the if it was a signal, right? If it was a signal, a manual signal, all the manual signals are taken because of that 1 hour pattern, right? All the manual signals in the group are taken because of that same pattern on a 1 hour chart. The algorithm takes those signals on a 30-minute chart, but my manual signals will always be based off the 1 hour chart. And so there will be times when the algorithm is taking a different trade than we are manually, right? Because it's two different time frames. But all manual signals are based off of the 1 hour time frame. Does that make sense? So the answer to the question is yes. I'm adding oil to my charts here because I want to keep an eye on it, right? I just want to keep an eye on it. But let's go look at the GJ because you were talking about the GJ. Let's go look at a GJ chart. I don't need the NAS. I don't ever trade the NAS, so I need that chart up. But let's go look at a GJ 1 hour chart. But the answer to your question, I can answer the question. The answer is yes, but we'll go look at it, right? The answer is always yes. Always yes. You're saying the signal yesterday was probably based on the 1 hour chart, and I don't remember which one it was. It probably was this right up here. Was it this one? That probably was what it was, right? Because you have that wick at the top longer than the body. I would have to look at the signals, but I can pretty much guarantee you that it was based on that candle right there, right? And I can go to the Telegram and I can look for it at 9 a.m. Yeah, that doesn't really help me, but we can see. So yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it was based on. But it looks like it was at 168.65. That might have been based on the 30-minute. I'm not sure. Let's go to 168.65. So I don't see it 1 hour. It might have been in 30-minute. I might have cheated on that one and done a little 30-minute one. But technically, this could have been it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not positive on that. But the bulk of the time, um, the manual signals will be based on the 1 hour time frame. You can see that the algorithm took a buy on the GJ right now. And it looks like it might be down a little bit. Um, but the majority of the time, if we're talking about um, manual signals, they definitely will be taken on the on the 1 hour time frame, if that makes sense. And this is the GJ, and this is where we got in. We're gonna buy right here, so we may be up on it a little bit. I don't like looking at my terminal when this thing is taking trades because I just like to let the algorithm do it, and I don't like to I'm kind of superstitious in that way. It looks like it took a buy right around 168.20 and it's down a little bit, which is fine. Yeah, we can do that. There you go. Your wish is my command, A-Rod. Damn it. So it looks like it took a trade, and it's down a little bit, which is fine. Um, but the oil algorithm will be available hopefully later tonight, and I think oil could be a big time money maker for us this winter. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably start another live account that just trades oil that does dips on oil. Yeah, he is A-Rod, and the strategic reserves are going to be at the lowest they've been in over 50 years in the United States. So we are in for hurting. Like I was saying earlier, they're protesting in France, they're protesting in Germany over oil prices, over energy. This winter is going to get really, really bad. Yes, absolutely. Since 1984 on the US 30. Yeah, we can take a look at that. So I will definitely be looking to buy dips on oil. And every chance we get to buy dips on oil, I will definitely be looking to do that. Okay. Absolutely looking for that. Okay. So here we have a 30-minute candle on the US 30. And you can see every time the algorithm is taking trades, you have these little blue dot or red dot. The red dot means that the algorithm took a sell. The blue dot means the algorithm took a buy. So we took a loss with the algorithm just recently, which is fine. Again, no system wins all the time, but you can see we took a sell on this one based on that candle and it lost. but we took a really killer buy right there. So you can see where the algorithm has taken trades. On the 30-minute time frame date, it looks like you could potentially in 12 minutes have that pattern, right? We'll see. It's obviously not the best time of day for the US 30, but if that 30-minute candle gives us a buy, what do we do? If the 30-minute candle gives us that buy signal, right, Dade? And that buy signal again would be like this one down here, a tail at the body, a tail at the bottom of the body of the candle longer than the body with very little wick at the top of the body. That one this morning was a perfect buy. If this 30-minute candle gives us that, we would take a buy, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. This trading style is the simplest style in the world. It really is. It doesn't matter what the candle color is, if it's red or blue. It matters how that candle closes, right? It's the simplest thing in the world. Really, no one should be a part of my signal group, honestly, because if they took the time, they wouldn't pay me each month to send out signals on the easiest trading in the history of mankind. It is literally the most easy system to understand. And really, no one should be paying me monthly for my signals. Nobody. Because if you actually pay attention, you can do this all on your own, which I really want people to do. If you want to know the truth of it, I want everyone to learn how to do it and not just rely on me to give them the signals. But if you want to keep paying me to do it, that's fine. But I mean, if people actually paid attention, they would be like, I'm not paying for that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Once you know the pattern, it's the simplest thing in the world. It really is. But again, like I said, if people want to continue to do that, that's fine. I still think it's down. I still think we want to look for dips, moves up to sell. But the one thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to get married to one position, one side of the trade, right? My weakness is I believe that the US 30 is going to go down. So I keep selling it, even though maybe that pattern isn't there. So just because our bias is down doesn't mean we don't follow the pattern. And if the pattern is telling us to buy, then we buy it, right? So just because our biases are to the short side does not mean we let our biases. Does that make sense? And if you were to nail me down and say, Clay, what is one of your weaknesses? I would say I get married to things and it causes me to take trades I wouldn't take because the pattern, if that makes sense. But we were really wanting to talk about oil. Oh, you wanted me to do the NAS too. The NAS is going to be pretty similar though, Dade, to the US 30, but we can absolutely take a look at it. Got too many charts on my thing here. You can certainly take a look, but it's gonna and NAS and Dade, you, especially you, and I'm not picking on you at all, but you should definitely know how to do that analysis, right? You should be able to look at the NAS and say, hey, I know what's going on. You know what I mean? I know what's going on. So all I have to do is look for that pattern. But we can look at it. I don't trade the NAS, but the pattern's going to be the same. Pattern's going to be the same. Yeah, me too. And that's my weakness. And that will always be my weakness, and that's fine. I make money, so I don't care. I make money trading, so I don't care. They are down, and they're making a little bit of a correction, right, A-Rod? But I would anticipate every time the US 30 makes a pretty big move in one direction, usually it corrects that move. Nope, nothing matters, Kevin. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter the time frame. It doesn't matter the time of day. It does not. None of that matters. It just matters what that candle is telling you. Because if you think about it, every candle tells a story, right? And our job as traders is to learn how to read what the candles are telling us. And like I've said before, we'll use this candle as an example. That candle that has a tail at the bottom of the body of the candle with no wick at the top symbolizes that there were sellers that tried to push and buyers came into the market, right? Because again, and you've heard this, Kevin, everyone's heard this. People ask me all the time, why is the market going down? Because there's more sellers than buyers. That's basically the gist of it. You can have all these fancy answers all you want, but the bottom line is markets go down because there's more sellers than buyers, and markets go up because there's more buyers than sellers. It's the simplest thing in the world. Don't overcomplicate it, right? Don't overcomplicate trading. Trading is not complicated. People want to make it complicated because they don't think in their mind that it can be that simple. It absolutely is that simple. It absolutely is that simple. Don't overcomplicate things. And the reason I like the algorithm is because the number one reason why traders lose isn't because they have terrible analysis, right? It's because they get emotional, right? Or their stop losses are too tight. How many times does it happen? And it's happened to me too, right? Oh, it went in the direction I wanted it to, but my stop loss was too tight, right? My stop loss was too tight. It went in my direction, but my stop loss was too tight, or we get emotional. The thing I like about the algorithm is it has no emotions, right? Maybe we'll train it to have emotions. I don't know. But the reason I like the algorithm is because it takes the human element out of it. And the human element is usually why traders lose, right? But if you just, again, if you circle the NAS and you just start doing that 1 hour pattern on the NAS, it's the same thing, right? Every time you have the pattern, you just do it. I know you do, A-Rod. Hey, they were talking. Oh, you were in there when he was talking about us today, Dave. We're saying that Ted was giving him some love. I don't think that's exactly how I remember that stream the other night when I was in it. But if that person wants to believe that Ted was giving Dave Trades some love, then I mean, if that makes him get up in the morning, that's great. I really don't care. But that guy is one of the worst. But if that's what floats his boat and gets him up in the morning, then far be it from me to mess with his wildest wet dreams, I guess. Far be it from me to mess with his wildest wet dreams if that's what he felt like was happening. I let them have their dreams, I guess. But you are coming up to some pretty significant levels on the NAS, right? From back in here. So you're going to want to watch those areas, right? 11,077. If we break below here, then we get a retracement to here and we get a sell pattern. Then, well, let me ask you this question. And I'm not just going to give you guys the answer here. I want you to use your brains. I know most of you have one. If we get a break below here and then a pullback to here, where's our next target area? If we get that break below and then a pullback to this area that has the V, where's our next support area? Where's our next major support area? And I want you guys to tell me because this, again, is part of doing your homework and part of if you want to become a full-time trader. Where's your next support area? I know where I'm look. It's staring me at like a bikini girl, right? Staring me in the face like a beautiful bikini girl. Where's your next support area? I want you guys to tell me because I sure as hell see one way down here. I say 1068 is my next. Well, I guess you could say right here, right? That probably is what you're saying. Maybe 1090 from way back here. From this area back in October of 2022. But you have a lot of clean traffic if you get that break below and then a pullback in that sell candle. You have a lot of clean traffic to that area right there from looks like October 12th, right around October 12th. You have a lot of clean traffic down into there, right? If it goes below there, where's your next significant support area? It's down at that 10.6 area that we were talking about from around October 14th, right? A few days later. So you have that significant area from, looks like October 12th at 1090, 920. And then you have a pretty significant area a couple days later right here. Oh, sweet. Tender hot. Nice. Get rid of this person. I love those people. They're great. They have such great effort. And you got to hand it to them for the effort of those bots trying to get you to go watch porn. You got to hand it to them for those efforts, but see you later. Okay, so those are your two significant areas right there if we get a break, right? So let's just review that again. Let's just review that again. If, yeah, we'll do GJ next. If we break below here, pull back to here, and we get the sell signal. And what is the sell signal again? The sell signal will be a candle like that, right? A candle that has a wick at the top of the body of the candle, longer than the body, with very little tail at the bottom. If we break below here and then pull back to here and get a sell signal, and it doesn't matter if it comes right at here, it could go all the way here. It doesn't matter where you get it. It just matters that you get it. Let's say it comes up to here and then it gives you that. Then your first target is going to be here. Your second target is going to be there, right? But if you get in here and it gets all the way down to here, you better damn well have, if you get in that cell up here, we'll put an X right there. If you get an opportunity to get into a cell there and it comes down to there, you better damn well have your stops in profit, right? Like pretty significant profit. And then if it gets past there and comes to here, then I would have my stops probably a little bit maybe above here, maybe somewhere in here, or maybe somewhere in here. But if you get this trade and it comes all the way down to that second target down here, you better have your stops in massive profit, or I will kill you. I'll fly wherever it is you are in the world and I'll come kill you. Okay, so you're always scaling your stops to more in profit, right? Now, the opposite of that, and then we'll get to the GJ, if it comes and breaks the area up, it's the same thing. Break the area up, pull back, give us a buy candle, and a buy candle would be, again, the tail at the bottom of the body of the candle longer than the body with no wick at the top. I would take a buy, and then where are my targets? Where are my targets? If we get a break above this level at 11,133, a break above, and then a pullback to there, where are my targets? The next major resistance would be, right? So your first area would look for would be right in here at 11,239. Your next one would be up here, and then potentially your fourth one up here, right? So if it breaks that level, pulls back, your first target would be that first area here. That would be your first target. Your second target would be there. And your third target would be there. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense? Pretty simple. It's not hindsight trading like Dave does. I'm giving you the pattern to trade. It's very simple. I'm giving you the pattern to trade. This isn't hindsight. This is saying understand the pattern. And this pattern, no matter again what currency it is, no matter what it is 85% accurate over the long run. Now again, I have to preface that and say no system is 100% accurate. No system is going to win every single time. But if you know that over the long run, you're going to be right 80 to 85% of the time, again, the question is, do you take the trade? If you know the majority of the time you're going to be right, you're going to be right about 80 to 85% of the time, do you take the trade? The answer is yes. You should be a robot at that point, right? It should be a no-brainer at that point. You take the trade because that's what the numbers say to do. You take the trade because that's what the numbers say to do, and then you're a robot. That's it. You take it because that's what the numbers say to do. It's a very simple concept. All right, we'll go to the 1 hour on GJ, and we'll do the same thing. A-Rod knows how to do this. He just wants to clog up my stream so I pay attention to what he's saying. But it's going to be the exact same thing, right? The exact same analysis. But because I love A-Rod, and if I didn't have 5 kids, I might make baby Ironmans with him. I'm totally kidding, guys. Okay. A-Rod and I have been friends for a long time. If I wasn't married and I didn't already have 5 kids and I hadn't been fixed, I hadn't had the surgery, so I can't have any more kids, I might want to make baby Ironmans with A-Rod. So, all right. Again, of course, I'm kidding, okay? So please don't take me literally. So on the GJ, you're trading the range between 167, basically 50, and 169.34, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Are you seeing this? So in order to buy the GJ, I would need to have it maybe come down here and then give me the buy candle, right? And then my first target would be up here. Does that make sense, A-Rod? In order to buy, I have to have the buy candle, right? And then my first target would be up here. Does that make sense? Now, what happens if it just comes up here and doesn't give me it? Then if it comes up here, breaks above, pulls back, gives me the buy candle, I buy it then. Now, if it doesn't give me buy candles or sell candles, it breaks below here, pulls back to here, and then gives me the sell signal. Then I sell it, and your next target is the next major support level. It's not complicated, folks. And your next major support level to me looks like this level at 165.03 from back on October 14th. Does that make sense? So if we break below this 167.48, then pull back and give us a sell signal, we sell it, and that is our target right there. Does that make sense? We'll draw the other one in a different color so we don't have that. If we get the buy candle, our target's here. If we don't get the buy candle, then we wait for it to break above, do that and that. Easy. Yep, 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 yep. And again, I don't want anyone to take my word for it, even though I'm pretty good. Go back test it, right? A-Rod would tell you the same thing. Anyone who is worth anything will tell you the same thing. Don't take my word for it. Just go back test the pattern I just given you. Look at every time on the 1 hour chart on GJ, you have the buy or the sell candle. Just go back test it. Don't take my word for it. I'm just some schmuck on the internet that's pretty damn smart and makes a lot of money. But don't take my word for it. I don't want you to. You back test it. You do your homework. If you want to be a full-time trader, this is part of your job. And if you don't want to do it, then you'll never become successful. Just back test it. Don't take my word for it. Please don't. Back test it. Just start circling every time you have the buy or the sell signal. Don't take my word for it. I'm a schmuck on the internet as far as you're concerned. I don't want you to take my word. I want you to back test. I want you to do the homework. And if you're not willing to do the homework and you want to be a lazy ass, be a lazy ass. But you'll never become a successful trader if you aren't willing to put in the time that I've put into it. Okay? You are not entitled to my 18 years of trading experience. I'm giving you basically the whole playbook right here, but you're not entitled to it. I don't have to do anything. I'm giving it to you, but put in the work. People these days, the problem is people are lazy. They expect to have everything right now. They want everything right now. You're entitled to nothing. Okay? You're entitled to no one's work. You're entitled to nothing. And I hate it because most traders these days say, is it a buy or sell or is it this, that? What do your charts tell you? Right? What do your charts tell you? What do your charts tell you? Your charts will tell you everything you need to know. You just have to do the homework. But the problem is most people are too damn lazy to do the homework. Oh, I got both those. I don't want that in there. I want the oil one. Where did the oil one go? Well, Kevin, I'm glad that gives you more clarity. I absolutely am glad. But do the homework, right, Kevin? I wouldn't expect you to, and you're a smart person. I trust you. But I wouldn't expect you to just take my word for it. Go do the homework, right? Back test. I had two US 30 charts and I wanted an oil chart as well. So got rid of that chart and then put it up here so I can pay attention to oil because I really think oil could be a big money maker for us this winter. So I'm gonna put it on the charts that I monitor when I have my stuff on. I think oil could give us a lots of opportunities to make money. And the oil algorithm will be available probably tonight. And Kevin, because he did some yeoman's work today, got the GJ one for the next few weeks for free. And I don't know if you've installed it yet, Kevin, but it should be in a buy on the 4 hour too. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you've installed it yet, Kevin, but it should be in a buy and it's losing right now, and that's okay. So is the US 30, and that's okay again too. Yeah, the 4 hour, I mean, shoot. Again, any of them work, man. Any of them work. You can go to the 4 hour on oil and you look at the same pattern, it works. It just depends on what time frame you want to trade. It really doesn't matter. Do you know how to install it though, Kevin? Do you know how to do it, or do you? It's really easy. If you have issues with it, when you get home, let me know. But it's extremely easy. You can't hear me? Can you guys not hear me anymore? Can you guys not hear me anymore? Oh no. Hello? I have not. Hey Rod, I haven't talked to him in a while. What's going on? I haven't talked to any of those guys for a while. What's going on? Do you have news? Do you have breaking news for us? I haven't talked to Daniel in a little while. I haven't talked to any of them. I'm actually, despite me going after this Dave trades, I'm really trying to stay out of all that. But no, is there something going on with Daniel? I really, despite me going after this Dave trades, which I'll probably be done with, um, just completely destroying him this week. I really just want to trade and just avoid all that crap. But sometimes it's fun. I don't know. Is there something going on with him? Okay, Kevin, that sounds good. Remember, 2 weeks, then I expect you to at least buy it, Kevin. You have to buy the algorithm in a couple weeks if it works well. And again, remember, you have a 30-day money back guarantee. If the algorithm loses you money, you will get your money back. So if the algorithm loses you money, you'll get your money back. So that's for everybody. If the algorithm loses you money, you get your money back. Simple. Simple, 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 simple. 4 hour looks like it just had a nice buy on it though, didn't it, on the oil? So we'll see what happens. The 30-minute just gave you a buy on it too. So as you can see on oil, it gave you a sell signal on the 30-minute, and then it gave you a buy signal. So that this sell signal may not be very good on oil, but we'll find out. Um, I'm gonna let my analysis do it. Yeah, as far as I know, like I said, I have honestly, I really have no beefs with anybody. Like I said, I know people have issues with Daniel, they have issues with JP, they have issues with me, they have issues with everybody. But as long as you treat me fairly, I don't care about what past people say you have. And Daniel and JP and Dr. Dollar, all those guys have been fair to me, and so I have nothing bad to say. I know they have some people think they have bad reputations. And some people say I have a bad reputation, which is fine. But they've always treated me with respect, so I will treat them with respect. And it's the same with Raja. Even though we've had our back and forth, when I met with him in person, very respectful, right? Very respectful. And it was something that I talked to him about, going and crashing his party, and we used to laugh about it all the time. He happened to be in Miami last month, and I'm like, oh, he's going to be in Miami these days. So I flew down there and went and hung out with him. Do we agree on everything? No. Do we agree on anything? Everything? No, of course not. But he was a totally cool dude, and I gained a lot of respect for the guy because no matter how you feel about Raja, he has built an empire from absolutely nothing. Now, you may not agree with him, you may call him whatever you want, and that's what I said to Raja. I said it to his face. I may not agree with everything you do or everything you have to say or the way you trade, just not the way I trade, but I respect the fact that you've built a literal empire from scratch. And I have respect for anybody that does that. Period, point blank, no cap, end of story. I have a lot of respect for those people that built something from scratch and have become very successful. No matter how you feel about them as a trader or anything else, that is to be respected. To me, that's to be respected. And that's Uncle Ted. Sure. I mean, like I said, any of those people that have built an empire and faced extreme criticism in building that empire, anybody that does that stuff, I have nothing but respect for them. Nothing but respect. And I am down on every single one of my trades right now, and that is okay. You can see it right now. You can see it right now. On all of these trades, I'm down on it. I'm down on this US 30 trade. I'm down on the GJ buy. I'm basically about break even on oil, and I'm down on a gold buy. I am down on all four of my trades right now. And I'll ask A-Rod, do you see me getting upset about it? Do you see me pissed off that I'm down on all four of my trades right now? Am I pissed off? No, no, because I trust my analysis, and if it happens to lose, it happens to lose, and that's okay. But I trust my analysis, right? If I lose, I lose. It's okay. I trust my analysis. We'll stay on here probably for another 15 minutes or so, guys. See if we get any other trades. But I trust my analysis, so I'm not worried about it. I know that over the long run, I'm going to be right the majority of the time. And like I said, if I lose, I lose. It's okay. Losses, like I said, are a part of the game. They put hair on your chest. And I'm perfectly okay with losing. So, losses happen. So let me see if I can guess where you're holding it to. You're in a buy. Are you on a buy like I am? So let me see if I can guess where you're holding it to based on a 4-hour time frame. I would say at least down to 167.50. Oh, you're in a sell. Okay. Well, that's better than a buy. Okay, so you're probably going up to the 169.34 area, right? Are you talking about you're holding till this area 4-hour? I think you said support area, and that's what probably got me. That's probably what got me. You said support, but you're actually talking about resistance, and it's probably somewhere in this area right here at 169.34, 169.34, possibly. That would be the 4-hour resistance if you're in a sell and you're down on it. Trying to hold for a day or two. Well, let me know how it goes. Okay, guys. So I wanted to do this live stream mainly on oil because I was watching the news today about all the rioting going on in the UK and in France and all those different places because of energy prices. And I'm like, you know what? Oil's going to skyrocket this winter. So I wanted to kind of do some analysis on oil. We did that. We'll wait till the next 30-minute candle close. We'll see if we get any new trades, and then I'll shut it down for the day. I'll be right back, guys. All right, so we'll try and stay for another 11 minutes, guys. Then we'll take off and spend some time with the family. Hopefully, my battery on my computer lasts till then. I guess I could go over there, but the sun's still in my. I'm outside right now, so we'll see what happens. But we'll try and stay for another 11, 10 minutes. And it looks like we're going to lose on the US. We potentially could definitely lose on the US 30. And like I said, that's totally okay if we take a loss. Losses happen, like we said, they're part of the game. They put hair on your chest. For those of you who like hair on your chest, I don't necessarily like hair on my chest, but losses happen, and they will always happen. You can't avoid them. So if we take losses on the trades, that's okay. Possibly, possibly. I have to go get 5 teeth pulled tomorrow, A-Rod. All of my canine teeth, my 4 canine teeth, are still baby teeth, and which is crazy because I'm 45 years old, and all my canines are still baby teeth. So I'm going to get them all pulled tomorrow. I'm getting braces because all of my permanent canine teeth are trying to come down, but there's not room for them. So I'm getting 4 teeth pulled tomorrow. So I can try and do London tonight. Tomorrow I will be totally out of commission. 4 teeth tomorrow are getting pulled. I still have my canines are baby teeth, which is kind of crazy, right? But we can try and do London for sure. It's about time those London streamers, most of them learn how to trade, right? About time we teach those guys how to trade. It's about time we teach them how to trade, right, A-Rod? So I can try and do that for sure. But the really the reason I like the algorithm too is because it takes my trades for me, right? So I really don't have to do London because my algorithm will take the trades for me, and I like that. All right, let me go get my battery charger, guys. We can do that here in a second, buddy. We just did it, but we can do it here in a second again. Let me go get my battery charger for my laptop, and then we can talk about the US 30 again. But if you just rewind G43, we did an in-depth analysis on the US 30 just maybe about 10 minutes ago. We can do it again, but just let me go get my battery and say hi to my wife real quick because she just got home and I haven't seen her yet. So let me go say hi to her real quick and get my battery, and then we can absolutely do that. That's fine. My kids don't have school the next couple days too, so my house is going to be a noise fest the next couple days, and I'm not a big proponent of lots of noise, so it's going to be kind of interesting in the next couple days with my three youngest kids having no school. It's going to be a bit noisy around my house. Going to be a bit noisy. All right, G43. What is it that you're just wanting to talk about overall analysis on the US 30, or what is it? Is there anything specific you want to talk about on the US 30, or is it just general consensus on where it's going? What is it that you want to talk about? I'm in a sell right now. I'm about to lose on the sell. My stop loss is going to hit at my stop loss on the US 30 is going to hit if it gets to 412. So if the US 30 gets to 3412, my stop loss will hit on that buy. But what is it? Is there anything specific that you wanted to talk about on the US 30, or you just wanted general information per se? Let's pull up a 1 hour chart too. I do most of my trading. If I'm doing manual trading, I do most of my trading on the 1 hour chart. I have this up because the bot takes all my trades for me in this account, and it takes trades based off the 30-minute chart. When I'm trading for myself, I take all of my trades on the 1 hour chart. So, and sometimes that's different, right? The difference between it may be a totally different scenario, maybe a totally different trade. Um, because overall, I'm short bias, obviously on the US 30. I think it's going to go down, but just because I'm short bias doesn't mean we can't take opportunities to buy. But overall, I'm biased to obviously the short side overall. Um, you have a major support level right here that it's coming down and tapping into right here. People call it supply zone, demand zone, whatever you want to call it. It's basic support and resistance. People like to dress it up and call it something different because it makes it sound special, makes them sound special. They can package it and sell it to idiots. But you're coming into a major support level from October 14th at this 3435 area. You can see it right here, right? So we'll see how it reacts around here. Um, if it breaks this level here, then your next major support level or your next area of interest would be that swing low from earlier today, right, at 3237. So what I would be doing is I would be looking for a break below here. If that's what happens, then a pullback to here with the sell pattern, and then I would look to be selling down into that area. And then if you break that area, if you break that low, then you have really clean traffic all the way down to 29,623. So what I would be looking for, again, let me just repeat that. If it breaks this level we're at right now from October 14th around this area, do you see that? Hopefully you're still here and I'm not doing this analysis and you took off. Hopefully you're still here. That circle right there, that was previous resistance that now becomes support, right? Once it breaks that resistance, that level now becomes support. So we may hold right here, right? We'll see. But if it breaks below here and then it pulls back to here and gives us a sell signal, I would sell it down, and that would be my first target right there, right? Because that's the swing low from earlier today. And then if it breaks lower, then my target would be all the way down here. So let's say it breaks lower and then pulls back and gives us another sell signal. You could sell it again at that level. You can have multiple sells on, right? But what I would want is I would want it to break below this level again, pull back, give me the sell signal, and then my next target's down there. Got it? But do you know what the sell signal is? G43, do you know what my sell signal is? Do you know what candle I'm looking for a sell? Do you know what it is? I just want to make sure you know what it is. And I'll show you some examples of it. It's a pin bar or doji, right? You just circle it. So in order for it to be a sell, it would have to be a wick at the top of the body of the candle, longer than the body of the candle, with no tail at the bottom of the body of the candle, right? So that's a pretty good example in the 1 hour. And then I would open that trade at the opening of the next 1 hour candle, right? So in this instance, you would open that trade at the opening of the next 1 hour candle. Oops. So right here, your trade would be entered right here at 3167. Your stop losses would be above the high of that wick. And when I'm doing a US 30 trade, my stop losses to begin with are always 200 points. And people think people think I'm crazy, and that's fine if you think I'm crazy. But if you're going to trade the US 30, your stop losses have to be deeper. They have to be. Okay, the US 30 is the beast of all beasts. Okay, it's the beast of all beasts. And if you're going to trade the US 30, that one would have lost. I can already tell you that. That one would have lost. And again, no system is 100% accurate. But I would want to have my stop loss 200 points above the opening or where I got in. Once I'm up 40 to 50 points, I place my stop loss at break even. And this is something that people get confused at all the time. If you are fortunate enough, right? We should say fortunate enough to get up 40 to 50 points. So again, if I get in at 3150, 40 points would be 3110, right? So at 40 to 50 points, pips, whatever you want to call it, we can get to them, Dave. Hold on a second. Then my stops are going to be at BE, right? Break even. If I get up more than 40 to 50, let's say I get up 60 to 70, my stop loss is going to be plus 20, right? Does that make sense? I'll get to it. Hold on, Dave. So maybe 60 to 80, my stop loss is going to be at plus 20. Does that make sense? And then if I get up 100 or so, I'll probably cut it in half, right? Let's say I get up 100 points, my stop loss will probably be at plus 50. But the nice thing about this too is you can create whatever you want. If you want to just take it out at 40 or 50, that's fine. But I don't like to do that because I'm more of a swing trader. Let's say I get into this trade here. I get down in here. I don't want to take my trade out just because it came down here. Maybe I take some profit out, or maybe I set my stops, but I want to see if I can get it down in here. I'm going for a big move at that point. If my stops are at plus, if my stops are in profit, then I'm comfortable with the amount of money I make no matter what. I want to leave some to trail the market. So once I do that, the markets are going to have to get me out of the trade, if that makes sense. But once I'm up 40 to 50 points, my stop losses are at break even. Once I'm up 60 to 80, maybe it's at plus 10, plus 20. I get up 100 points on US 30, I'm always going to place my stops at plus 50. Always. Okay? Pretty simple, but I want to see if I can have a big move, right? I want to see if I can get a big move. So I'm just trailing my stop. I don't if it's plus 10, I'm happy with my plus 10. Now something that might be a little bit curious to do right now is see how the daily closed. See, the daily closed with a buy pattern, pretty close, right? The daily, if you look at the daily right here, it closed with a buy, pretty close, right? I'm gonna getting. Sometimes when I try and move that, it messes with my trade. So I'm gonna take away my stop loss right now on the US 30, and it's gonna put it back on there. Sometimes when I move that line, it will move my stop loss. But this is a key area right here that we're at. We'll see if it bounces above or not. Um, but overall, I'm bearish on the US 30 for sure. So let's see if the algorithm, because we just had a 30-minute candle close. Let's see if the algorithm took any more trades. We still have the buy on the US 30. We still have the buy on that one. I took a manual on oil, and we still, so no new trades for the algorithm. We're losing on all of them. We're losing on all of them right now. But I'll show you what this week looks like on this account too, because again, we're not scared. And again, this is a very small account because we are testing the algorithm. Down 50 bucks. This account's at almost 400 bucks. Okay. It's a very small account because we're trading the algorithm. We're testing the algorithm. It's not a huge account. This is not my personal trading account. This account just takes trades from the algorithm. But if you look at this week, and we go from the 15th to today, we'll look at what the profits are. And I think for a small account overall, it's pretty damn good profits for the week. $197 in profit for the week. Yes, Sam, it does not matter. So there it is, right there, guys. It's a live account. You can see that profits for the week are 197. Okay. And if you go here, you can see each trade will say whether it was taken manually or whether or not it was taken from the bot. I think it will. I don't know where I go for that. Maybe it won't tell me. Maybe it won't tell me. I thought if you do it, it will tell you. There are a couple trades when we first started this account that I took, and I'll just show you the whole history. I don't care, but I'll show you because there's a few trades that I kind of was testing out testing out oil. The algorithm doesn't take oil, so it's down from the beginning of this account that started on the 6th of October, which now what day is it today? So 2 weeks ago. Any trades you see on here that involve oil are not trades that were taken by the algorithm. So I was testing out oil, and you can see one of the first trades here, right there is minus $100. That's not an algorithm trade, just so you know. Anything that has to do with oil, it wasn't an algorithm trade. Okay. So it's minus 95, but if you take that $100 away, it's in profit. And I know there's a couple other ones here that weren't taken by the algorithm. And I'm trying to see why is it that usually I can click on this and it'll say if it was taken manually or not taken manually. Maybe someone here that's a little bit smarter than me can show us that too. If you scroll down here, most of these were things that were taken. So when we take a loss on the US 30, because this account is set to 0.03, 100 point loss on the US 30 would equal $30.03. So any losses you see on the US 30 that are higher than that would be because I decided to change the stop loss to see if I could get it to go in my direction. So I've messed with it a little bit. So there's a $54 loss that that the algorithm didn't take. And I know that you can click on here and it'll say, was it taken by the algorithm or was it taken? Why am I not able to do that? Anyway, so there's a couple losses. There's a $54 loss that should be 30, so that's 124 bucks. I know there's a couple other ones that are a little bit deeper than the other ones. This one here is 15 bucks, so that's 140 bucks. People are like, "Oh, what?" I'm just giving you guys truth, the honest truth about everything here. Okay, here. No, I see why I was able to do it before, and I don't know why I'm not able to do it now. And you can see another one right here. So we're at like 140 bucks that weren't losses taken by the EA. And then you can see one right here where there's a random sell on the US 30 with a dollar lot instead. And that's negative 125. That was not taken by the EA. So now you're at 260 bucks. And I'm not being dishonest with you guys. I'm just telling you that some of these were not taken by the EA. So now you're at $260 of trades that weren't taken by the EA, that were taken by me, because I'm just trying to. Here's another one. So you have 260 bucks. Here's another one right here. That's a 0.3. The algorithm only does 100-point stop losses. So that's cut in half. So that's over $300, right? Over $300 that weren't taken by the EA. And I'll see how I can figure that out again. Here's another one. So now you're at $330. So about $330 of these losses wasn't taken by the algorithm. It was taken by me just doing that. So if you take the fact that even with all those losses that weren't from the algorithm, $330, and you take that and take out that 95, technically the algorithm, if I just had taken algorithm trades, would be up 220 bucks. Does that make sense, or am I saying something that's just entirely not true? Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. Sam, again, it doesn't matter what color the candle is. It just matters that it gives you the pattern. But does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So some of these weren't algorithm trades. So if you go back to the beginning of this account, I like to fiddle with things. You can see that there was $481.95 that was put into this account on October 6th. So if you take that money out, you say $220 in profit, the algorithm would be, if I wouldn't have taken trades that weren't algorithm trades. What is the percentage? $220 profit on a $481 account from October 6th to October 20th. So 2 weeks, right? 50%, right? A little less. 220 into 481, let's say 482, because we like to be accurate. All right, calculator. 220 into 482. 220 divide 482. So in 2 weeks, the algorithm alone is up almost 46% in 2 weeks. And even taking those losses that I took by adjusting things, it's still only down 95 bucks, which is pretty impressive. But again, I was doing this the other day and I was able to just scroll on it and it said this was an algorithm trade or it was a manual trade. And I'll figure that out and I'll make a point of it. But you guys see that now? So again, all the algorithm is doing is taking trades based on my pattern on the 30-minute chart instead of the 1 hour. Does that make sense to everybody too? So all the algorithm is doing is taking trades on a 30-minute chart instead of a 1 hour, because people who buy the algorithm want more action, right? They want action, just like everybody does. They want action. So we made it the 30-minute chart instead of the 1 hour, but it's the same exact pattern. Okay, and we'll put the terminal up because we're actually losing, like I said, on almost all of the trades now. I think there was one that might be profitable. And we'll put the trades up here. We'll put it up here. I'm not scared of any of that. Not scared to show you and be 100% transparent with you about what's going on, because that's how you do things. You're transparent. That's how you roll. That's how we roll. That's how I will always roll. I haven't always been like that. You talked to me 15 years ago, I probably wasn't. But I am 100% transparent now on exactly what is going on. And I will always be that. Life, there's more important things for me than, not being transparent. My integrity, and it wasn't like this when I was younger, it wasn't like that. I would take shortcuts as much as I could. But my integrity now is way more important than I could walk away from trading tomorrow and be fine. But I'm not, my integrity is more important to me than always being right, if that makes sense. Or trying to cover people's eyes and be dishonest with them. My integrity is far more important to me than that. So we're down 48 bucks on trades right now. Two. Okay, just so everyone's aware, because like I said, integrity is important. So you'd be up 220 bucks, we said, which is 46%. You take, even if you take 50 bucks away from that, you're still up 170 bucks. So if I were to just take all these trades out and take that loss, what is 170 into 480? Oops. Okay, because again, I don't care about all the other fluff. I care about being honest with people and treating people the right way. The second I think that my integrity is going away is the day I'll leave the markets. I don't need it. I have enough money to survive. I don't need to trade. I've got enough money to survive. Okay, so what's 170 into 480? It's still really good. It's still really good. Um, do you have Instagram? Do you have Instagram? So it would still be 36%. Do you have Instagram? Do you have Telegram? Do you have Telegram? I'll type in my Telegram address. You should be able to find me at Yak Steelhead. Okay, I typed it in there, but I just want to make it crystal clear to you before you do this. This is a paid service. It's 500 bucks US for lifetime, and you get all the updates. If you don't make money or the EA doesn't make you money after 30 days, you get your money back. Are we clear on that? But in order for you to get your money back, all the trades have to match what the EA did. Does that make sense? Like if you're doing what I was doing on some of those trades and taking trades that the EA didn't get in, and you say, Clay, I lost money, here are the trades, and the trades don't match, then you won't get that, right? Does that make sense? But it is a paid service, and like I said, I will never apologize for that. But I want to make sure we're crystal clear on the fact that in order for that 30-day money back guarantee to happen, your trades have to match the trades that are taken in the by the algorithm. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure we're very clear on that. I don't think it's going to lose you money. I doubt it. No, there's no trial, but there's a 30-day money back guarantee. And here's the deal I'll make for you, CY. Here's the deal I'll make for anybody that's in here right now that isn't a member of it. Here's the deal I will make you right now. If you lose money after the 30 days, you pay for the algorithm. If you lose money, I will refund you the cost for the EA and I will refund you the money you lost. Okay, up to a certain, like I'm not gonna, if you go put in $100,000 account, you lose 70,000. I'm not going to, but anywhere, $1,000 or so. If you put $1,000 into the EA and after 30 days you lose, not only will I refund you the $500 to purchase it, I will also refund you any losses. So I'll make that deal to anybody that does that, the EA right now, while we're talking. Okay, but it's gonna be like a maximum of $1,000 probably. And if you sign up with if you sign up with Hanko Trade, here's another thing. So pay attention. If you sign up with Hanko Trade, which is where the EA works best right now, we should have a universal one out later this month. But if you sign up through Hanko Trade with my affiliate link, I get a certain, like all these swap fees and commissions. Hanko Trade gives me a certain amount of that. If you sign up with my um, affiliate link, I will also give you 20% of those commissions back. So it's a pretty damn good deal, if you ask me. But maybe no one's asking me, right? So will also give you 20% of the commissions that Hanko Trade pays me. I will give back to you. Does that make sense? So I think it's a pretty good deal. But there's no trial period because there is that 30-day money back guarantee, and I don't need to give trials. If people don't want it, they don't have to have it. So I don't give trials. But if you want the algorithm, it's $500 US for lifetime. You also become a member of my Signal group too, by the way, which takes some different trades for life. I'll give you a 30-day money back guarantee, and I'll pay you some of the commissions that Hanko Trade pays me if you sign up for an account through Hanko Trade. So I think that's a pretty damn good deal. But maybe it's not. Maybe no one's asking me. But if you get a hold of me on Telegram at Yak Steelhead, I posted it here and I'll post it again. Should be able to find me. It should be a picture of me with a fish. I can get you the information on that. I typed it in there again. Get a hold of me on Telegram. But no, there's no trial period. I don't need to do trials. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But I don't do trials. That's why we have the 30-day money back guarantee. So I'm sorry for that, but no, I don't do that. We don't play that. I'll be right back, guys. All right, so I think that's a pretty good deal. That's the deal I'll do on the algorithm because I have that much confidence in it. For those that are in here right now, that's the deal I will do. It may not be available later. You never know. But if you get a hold of me on Telegram, CYLA, we can get you set up. Sam, that's the deal I'll do for you. That's the deal I'll do for anybody that gets the EA. If you sign up with my affiliate link through Hanko Trade, I'll give you part of the commission too. One of these days, they'll actually pay me a commission. I should check and see my commission chart on Hanko Trade. Maybe I haven't earned any commissions. You never know. But I'll do that deal for anybody that's in here right now. I was wanting to do my affiliate links, you knuckleheads. But I will also say that I do charge for my services, and I will never apologize for charging for my services, like I always say, because I'm damn good at what I do. I will never ever apologize for charging for my services because I'm damn good at what I do. But you'll see it. Okay, we're gonna have a 30-minute candle close here in 7 minutes, and we'll see if we get any new trades. But I will never ever apologize for charging for my services because I'm damn good at what I do. And like the Joker said in the Batman movie, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Right? That's what the Joker said. One of my favorite movies of all time. Heath Ledger as the Joker was one of the best performances ever. And he says, if you're good at something, never do it for free. And I'm damn good at what I do, so I don't apologize for that. So I take my cues from Heath Ledger, who did an amazing job as the Joker. They're like, if you if you're saying kill the Batman, then why haven't you done it?
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
There it is.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
There it is.
If you're good at something, never do it for free. If you're good at something, never do it for free. If you're good at something, never do it for free. If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Period. End of story. And I will never apologize for that. Ever. Because I'm damn good at what I do.
If you've tried growing your Instagram account, you know it's easier said than done.
I don't really care. I don't really care if my Instagram account grows or not. If you're good at something, never do it for free. It's classic. It's beautiful. The other thing is you'll not see Dave Teaches, the guy I've been going after a lot. You'll never see Dave Teaches show you the kind of transparency that I'm showing you right now. You'll never ever see that. You never see him show you a live terminal. You'll never see anything like that. And again, if they're good at what they do, then they should want to show that stuff. But they don't want to show it. Why? Why? Because they're not good at what they do. If they were good at what they do, you would think they would want to show you what it is they're doing. And don't you think they would be proud of that? If they were as good as they say they are, you would think they would want to show what they're doing. But they don't, because why? Because they're not good at what they do. Kind of how I see it, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just, again, some schmuck on the internet. But we're going to see here in a few minutes, in 4 minutes, whether the algorithm takes any more trades. It's looking potentially like the algorithm could take another GJ buy. We will see in 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, we will have our answer. In 4 minutes, we will have our answer. Yep. Sam knows. Sam's a smart guy. Sam, you just met me. It hasn't been very long since you met me. Have I been, Sam, totally transparent in everything I've done? Have I been totally transparent, Sam, in everything I've done? Would you say I've been transparent or not transparent in everything I've done? Thank you. And that means a lot. That means a lot because that's more important to me than anything when I'm streaming or when I'm doing anything that what I say, I also do, right? And I'm never going to talk about trades. I'm never going to talk about trades that I'm not willing to put my own money into, right? That's the other thing too. I won't talk about trades that I'm not willing to put my own money into. You will never see me do that ever. Ever. And people always say, "Well, you trade small lots." Let me again explain something to the people that don't like to listen. I don't have a mortgage. I have zero debt. My monthly nut in order to make money is around $1,000 a month. My monthly nut, because I have a cell phone bill, power bills, all that. I have no mortgage. I have no car payments. I have no credit card debt. Do people understand even just what making $300 a day in the markets do people not understand what that does over the long term? Do people not understand that? What is $300 a day going to do for you in the markets? Because there's 5 days a week. There's 20 trading days. Let's just do that. There's 20 trading days in a month. So if you go 300 times 20 is going to be $6,000, right? Is that enough money for me to live comfortably if my bills are only $1,000 a month? I have zero debt, zero. I can make $200 a day and be perfectly fine. Now, do I make more than that? Yes. But people get this idea that if you're trading small lots or you're doing this stuff, it must mean that you're not successful. Well, I've been there. I've had the fancy cars. I've had the expensive crap. I don't need it. I'm a 45-year-old guy with 5 kids and a wife that I've been married to for 22 years that I absolutely love. I've been there. I've done all that. I don't need it. I've never heard that. I guess I've never heard that. So there it is again, right there, right? So you see the algorithm just took another buy on GJ, right? You can see that the algorithm just added another position on the GJ, and I think that's all it did. And it may lose, right? Again, it may lose, and that's okay. But the reason it took it because you had a 30-minute candle close with the pattern. And again, it may lose. Both those trades may lose, and that's okay. But I am going to take those trades because that's what the numbers say to do. Does everyone understand that? That's what the numbers say to do. Okay, I'm just doing it because that's what the numbers say to do. Whether the trade wins or loses really doesn't matter. I'm taking the trade because that's what the numbers say to do. That's what the pattern says to do. That's what the numbers say to do. All right. I'm going to take a break for a few minutes, guys. Talking. I'm going to leave the stream up, but I'm going to take a break from talking. But I'm going to leave the stream up with the terminal up so that you guys can see what's going on. Okay. We may do a marathon stream. We may stream all day and night into London session. I'm not sure. But I will leave the stream up with the terminal up, and you guys can just keep looking at it. Well, I'm just going to take a break and go talk to the wife. And my wife just got back from a parent-teacher conference for our daughter, so I want to see how that went. But I'm going to take a break for a little bit, but the stream will remain up. And that is a live terminal with live trades we're in. And there it is. There's the transparency of it all right there. I will be back in a bit, guys. I'm going to turn the volume down so you don't hear stuff, right?